Hello, I welcome you once again to Percentage, a program that is established to help you rate your performance in relationships and marriage. Of course, my name is Tunde Babalola, and with me on Percentage today is Adiola Shueto. Adiola, how are you?
I'm very fine.
How is everything with you?
Fine.
Please, what do you do?
I'm in hospitality. I have a catering company, and I also consult for other hospitality companies.
Beautiful. Adiola, with what is happening in the world at large,
Okay.
what can you tell of the coronavirus that is ravaging the world?
Well,
is there any lesson to learn from this pandemic?
I think there's a lot to learn. And first of all, my heart goes out to all the families that have lost loved ones. Deepest condolences to everyone. But I also think it's a period to rethink our priorities. I think we've been given a gift of time to pull back. Now we have more time to ourselves. Well, we had more time to ourselves. Everything is picking back up again. To pull back, appreciate the people around us, appreciate the things we never thought were that important, and it's also giving us time to appreciate our families and friends, and also to plan again and know what's important in our lives.
That's lovely. Well, that's about coronavirus and the view of Adiola about the pandemic. But today, the reason why we're here is about relationships and marriage. Adiola, I know you are married.
I was married.
Oh, okay. You were once married, or you are still married?
No, I'm no longer married. I was once married.
So what happened? Why divorce then?
Well, I'm divorced now, so my maiden name is actually Shueto, and I've been divorced for a few years now. But what I can say about it is, we both were not ready, which I think is an issue with a lot of couples today. We're not ready. We were thinking more about the wedding than the actual marriage, or the effort we needed to put in it, or the compromise. We didn't understand that we're two different people coming from very different backgrounds, and we had to meet somewhere in the middle, compromise, work on. It's a choice to live by every single day. So every day you wake up and you choose to live with this person for the rest of your life. So yeah.
So does it mean that you guys were not friends before you came on board?
We were friends, but like many friendships, they don't get to live together. Many friends, they don't get to live together. So we were friends. But marriage is a lot more than friendship, and it's a lot more than love. It's a mixture of a lot of things. Like I said, it takes sacrifice. It takes choosing on a daily basis to live with this person, which those were the things we were not prepared for.
Okay, in marriage, what were your experiences as a married woman?
Well, for me, I can't speak for anybody else. For me, it wasn't a very happy experience in total. Imagine if you had to live in conflicts on a daily basis. So that it wasn't a good experience, but that's my own personal experience. Yes.
So what led to the divorce?
We couldn't get along. We went from being friends to being complete enemies. So we could not see eye to eye anymore. We didn't agree on anything, and the friendship fizzled away. So
the next line of action was to divorce.
Also in marriage, I think the support of family is also very important. We didn't have a lot of support from family members. I think obviously when two people come together, try to keep your differences to yourselves, because when you do forgive your partner, your family members or the people you've told about it may not forgive them. So because of so many things that have been said to different people, we didn't have that support system to advise us to work on things. When everybody went their separate ways, we took our friends and families with us. So there was no support system.
So how are you coping as a single lady now?
Well, personally for me, because it wasn't such a great experience, I prefer, I've had to work on myself, work on self-esteem, because it's more difficult for a woman who is divorced to find marriage, especially in this part of the world. Our culture, when you're a divorcee, I mean, we're not advocates for divorce, to be honest, in Africa. So, so people look at you like, oh, you're a bad person, or you've done something wrong, or you're not good enough, you're not fit to be a wife, you can't hold a home, that's why you're single now. So it's a lot more difficult than just being a single lady. So it takes a lot of courage, and but once you're able to work on yourself and your self-esteem, I think.
You are still young and beautiful. Are you still considering marriage?
What?
Or you have closed that chapter for life?
Absolutely not. However, if it does happen, that would be great. If it doesn't happen, I'm okay as well.
Okay to be single?
I don't want to be single, but I think I have a better understanding of what marriage is, and I just won't get into marriage because everybody expects me to. I'll get into marriage now because it's the right thing to do, because I understand who my partner is, most especially because I understand who I am and what I want out of life. So I think with everything in life, you can't go into partnership with somebody without both of you having the same vision. So if I have a different vision from yours, it's obviously we're heading for the rocks. So if we cannot work in agreement, we'll obviously work in. So I think what is more important for me is finding that person that I can work in agreement with. We have the same visions, we understand ourselves, most especially then we can understand each other.
That's lovely. What advice would you love to give to young ladies out there who are dreaming one day they will come into this institution?
Well, I think I would advise young women, don't rush. Don't rush. It's the rest of your life, so there's no need to rush and get into marriage. And then consider that it's not just about the wedding. There's actually a marriage you're going into, which is more important, because people tend to focus more on the color of the wedding and then marriage is an institution. I mean, nothing prepares you for it, not university, not your parents. So you have to also be open-minded and willing to learn. And when people say submission, I mean, no offense to feminists or anything, but even the Bible says it, like, submit to your husband. Once you're submitting to a man and a man is loving you in return. So these are the things you both need to talk about and agree on before going into that institution. It's not child's play. However, it can be good when you both are willing to put in the effort.
Okay, considering the situation of things in our environment and then the rate at which young ladies are craving for marriage, because it's like everywhere you turn to now, young ladies are craving for marriage seriously. Now, is it a good thing for them to think in line of that? Or what's your take? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing to think about getting married as a young woman and getting married on time as well, because obviously marriage is also coming together to procreate. So the sooner you do that in life, the better. However, the real question is, why are they craving for the marriage? Is it because they think they're running out of time, peer pressure, or pressure from parents? So what is important is why they want it. It's not about wanting it, but if the reasons are not right, then they're headed for disaster, literally. Because if you're doing it because if I'm getting married because all my friends are married, then I still don't understand what marriage is about, and I shouldn't be getting married.
Have you experienced an abuse before?
Well, not physical abuse, but emotional, mental abuse, yes. That's everything you experience when you're not in tune with the person you're married to.
Okay. We are going to go on a short break. We'll be right back after this advert.
Hello there. Are you feeling confused? Are you feeling worried? Are you feeling stuck relationship-wise? Then guess what? Percentage is here, and this gives you an opportunity to rate your relationship. This gives you an opportunity to unburden and to get those questions that have been plaguing your mind answered. All you need to do is like our page. All you need to do is follow us and get on board the Percentage train now, as you get those questions and problems resolved. We look forward to having you on board the Percentage train. See ya!
Yes, I welcome you back to Percentage. I'm still in the house with Adeola. Adeola, how are you again?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, Adeola, I want to ask you this question. It's about rape that is rampant in the world today. You know, the rate at which young ladies are being raped. And what's your take on it? What do you think, and how can we put an end to this pandemic, this problem?
Okay. First of all, I don't think there's any excuse for rape. There should never be an excuse, and any rapist should be brought to justice. Also, I would add that I don't know if everybody remembers the olden days, how everybody used to be your brother's keeper. And if House A's son is playing rough in the compound, House B can come and smack him and send him back to his mother. So I think if we can bring a bit of culture back, that would help a lot, because our young ladies and the rate at which they expose themselves. Now, like I said, there's no excuse to rape, but then you don't need to dangle the carrot in front of an animal. You shouldn't do that. So a lot of parents see their children go out in ridiculous outfits, and I mean, most of these boys are also young boys growing into puberty, trying to understand who they are, trying to learn self-control as well. So a young lady comes to their house in see-through outfits and everything. It would take a lot of resistance for this young boy that is just coming into his own person to hold himself off of her. So I mean, as much as there's no excuse, it seems as if the women are also taunting the men, and it's not fair. So I think as adults, when you see even an adult or a teenager or whatever inappropriately dressed, I think we should try to caution them. People will start feeling a bit more embarrassed if people start to walk up to them and tell them that, I think your outfit is horrible. Try to do something about it. Don't you have parents at home? Are your parents? By the time we start to speak to people like that, I think a lot more people will be more cautious about it.
What exactly can you say, like most of our young ladies today want to show their naked bodies? Can we call that fashion, or what is trending?
It's not trending, it's just fashion.
You are a beautiful lady, and considering your beauty, you are well covered up, and you're still beautiful. So what's your advice to those ladies out there? Because if you put on your phone now, probably go on Facebook, Instagram, and all these things, all you see around are ladies, displaying their nakedness and everything. Is it fashion, or is it a trending thing?
I mean, I think it's role models, really, because there were days when our role models used to be people that were decently dressed, and these days, I think, due to exposure of DSTV, Western exposure, people are now looking at, no offense to anybody, but I mean, if you look at Kardashians or so many other people that people now look at these days. What they fail to understand is that these people don't actually dress like that on a daily basis. They're pretty much dressed like that to promote a brand or two. But our people take it on as a culture. We ignore our own African culture, or and then we take on this Western cultures. We look at TV and we see, and the young ladies see what these people are wearing. Now, irrespective of the fact that they are trying to promote their own brand, and when you see them on the streets during the day, they are actually not dressed like that. So, exactly. So, young women are they want to be like the role models they're seeing, and nobody's stopping them.
All right. Well, I just have to bring this conversation to an end today. But Adeola, you're not going anywhere. Yeah, I bring you because I still have a whole lot of questions to ask you. So I'm going to bring Adeola back, and she has so much, to still, opened up onto us concerning our marriage. I just decided to keep it so brief today, but come next week, we will talk more on sex and the other aspect of marriage that I believe can actually help build self-esteem and build our marriage and relationship. So Adeola, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate your coming, for this interview today. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again next week.
Definitely.
Hope you will come.
I will. Definitely.
All right, Adeola has promised, and I'm going to hold her by her word. So she'll be here next week. This is Percentage. Peradventure, you have one or two questions you want to ask, or you have some comments you would like to make, please go to the comment section and then leave your comments there. Or if you have any question, just put it there. We will get back to you. You can do that on Instagram page, YouTube page, and of course, the Facebook page. And hope to see you again, same time next week. Thank you.